Well, I'm delighted in my capacity as chairman of the Council of the Americas to welcome Venezuela's unity presidential candidate, Edmundo González, and opposition leader, María Corina Machado. We're here for a keynote interview at the 54th Washington Conference on the Americas. Thank you both for joining us from the campaign trail at an incredible busy time as you prepare for elections that have been scheduled for July 28th. Edmundo and María Corina, I understand you have brief comments you would like to make, and then I'd like to ask a few questions. We're very interested in your thoughts and impressions from the campaign.
Well, thank you. We're super grateful to the Council of Americas and American Society for this ongoing support for the cause of democracy in Venezuela. Very grateful to you, Andres, for as chairman, and Susan Siegel as president and CEO, and also, of course, Eric Fainsworth, vice president of the American Society and Council of Americas. This is a unique opportunity for us because we want to convey a message of hope and struggle after 25 years of destruction in Venezuela. There is a unique opportunity, a real opportunity for change and democratization of our country. In 80 days, July 28th, Venezuelans have the right to vote under very hard circumstances, certainly not free and fair elections, but we are fighting for our right to choose. And what I want to tell you all is that this is different from previous moments. Now we have a legitimated leadership. We have a candidate that has the support of the Venezuelan people and all political parties, of democratic political parties. We have a huge civil movement that is growing and growing, that has over 80% of support. We're seeing tensions among factions of the regime because they know that they have lost total support from the Venezuelan people. And we're also seeing the international community increasingly supporting us in this fight for free and fair elections. Even former allies of Maduro, such as President Lula or President Pedro, that are insisting of the necessity to have this process taking place with fair conditions on July 28th, because they realize that the implications of the outcome of this election will have enormous consequences, not only for Venezuela, but for the whole region. So we have reasons to be hopeful and to work hard, and we are super grateful for this unique opportunity that you're giving us today.
Thank you for this opportunity to advise you. I was able to attend some of the previous events in Washington. I was there in the late 70s, 80s, and this is a very complex moment for Venezuela right now. It's a situation not only political speaking, also social. This is a humanitarian conflict situation. At the moment, we are very hopeful, not very optimistic, not only optimistic, but hopeful to find a way for the reconstruction of democracy, the construction of our economy in change, and we are very hopeful that you and the audience can hear the voice of two Venezuelan, one the leader of the opposition, the presidential candidate, who was elected by all the parties of the United Front.
You've been harassed. They've made your campaign as difficult as possible. So maybe give us a little bit, how has it been able to, conduct a campaign under such difficult circumstances?
Well, I think this is hard to describe. I don't think there are precedents in our region. As we speak, we have 9 members of our campaign team that are in prison. Some of them in top positions in our national campaign team. We have 6 members of our teams that are secured in the Argentinian embassy. Dozens of our team members are being persecuted. Some of them are hiding. And, it's very hard to move around. I'm not able to leave the country for over 10 years. We are not able to get into a domestic flight because the airlines would lose their license. If I stay in a hotel with our team, then the hotel is closed, as happened this last weekend in the east part of our country where we were touring. And roads are blocked. Sometimes we are physically attacked. And certainly the conditions for the campaign are super tough. I'm not able to get into national television or get interviews or ads. Nonetheless, wherever we go, thousands and thousands of people gather. They go walking, they use their own means, but most important is a degree of emotion that we are seeing. People absolutely committed to go until the end, which means bringing our kids back home. That's a desire that unites strongly every single Venezuelan.
Again, you're both incredibly brave, and certainly the international community backs you, and will hold the government responsible for any actions, additional actions that they would take against you. What needs to happen between now and then to allow a vote that you would deem free and fair?
Well, first of all, let me tell you that I think the importance of the international community presence here in Venezuela during this campaign is vital to have a result free and fair. I was speaking with an international leader, and they were keen to ask to know how can they help. And I told them the presence of the international community here in Venezuela before and during the act of voting is vital for us. It's vital because you will see the difference, the unbalance of the government, the advantage of the use for the candidates, and the voting day is also very important to have the audit system working properly.
I think it's setting an example for the world of popular movements and people taking action into their own hands. And you've also a great example of courage for the whole world. If you think about what can the international community do more to help ensure that these elections take place?
Well, I would say that the world needs to understand how the outcome of this election will impact not only Venezuela, but I would say Latin America and even the whole hemisphere. I mean, these are 2 outcomes. Either Maduro holds power by force, by blocking the election or committing huge fraud, and understand what that would mean for the region. That would mean that immediately, in less than a year, you could have 2, 3, 4, or 5 million Venezuelans fleeing. It would be that biggest migration wave we've seen so far. Secondly, we would see how these criminal networks, the Tren and others, would strengthen and grow. Thirdly, we could see how the relationships with Iran, with Russia, will be even more consolidated. So that would be an outcome, a devastating outcome with regional political stability that would be promoted from Venezuela. On the other hand, if we manage to move ahead with negotiated transition, we will have Edmundo González as our next president, we will not only see migration stop, but reverse. We will see many Venezuelans coming back home. We will see our country turned into the energy hub of the Americas, using our huge energy potential, not only in oil and gas, but also in renewable energies. And certainly we will see Venezuela strengthening our relations with other democratic governments in the region and around the world, which certainly is two outcomes totally different. So I think the international community should help us make this case clear to all stakeholders, not only political, but financial, economic, and social around the world.
Okay, well, thank you very much. I would like to ask both of you for some closing remarks.
What we're living in Venezuela is unique. I really want to convey to every single person that is listening to us that this goes beyond an electoral process. This has turned an existential fight, even a spiritual one. And that's why we're seeing people willing to do things I never thought they were capable of. And the strength that is growing day by day is huge. We are organizing thousands and thousands and thousands across the country. And I'm very honored to share this fight with a person, a man that has such a strong and honorable life as Edmundo González, someone people can trust. And that's why we've seen that only in a matter of days, he has received his huge support. So we're working together. We're conscious of the huge challenges we are facing, but I trust the Venezuelan people, and I know that we will prevail.
Let me tell you frankly, I was never involved in a political campaign. I was never run in any political candidacy. And what I'm seeing here, what I'm perceiving from the people is enthusiastic to participate in the election day. This morning we received some delegations, some organizations from the center of the political spectrum, from the left of the political spectrum, and also very motivated and willing to give us the support and the support of the organization to have a broad coalition supporting the candidacy of María Corina.
Yeah, I think it's incredible in the 21st century that all countries of Latin America are not free and democratic. It's quite amazing. And I think that what you mentioned, 7 million Venezuelans have left, and it has caused problems for a lot of countries in the region. So I think, as you say, there's a lot of reasons besides the ethical ones to support Venezuela. Well, this has been very inspiring, and I wish you all the best of luck. And thank you for your courage in fighting for Venezuelan democracy and for the Venezuelan people. Edmundo, María Corina, thank you so much for our time with us today. And again, thank you very much and best of luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.